All right. Hello? 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 Oh, wrong scene. Boom. Hello, guys. Hello. All right. My apologies there on the long wait. I was eating my lunch as quick as I can. All right. Narcissist developer stream. That's too good. What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's having a good Friday. How is the sandwich? Not filling enough. But if I didn't eat something, my stomach was gonna be rumbling the whole time we're here. So, are we expecting any news out of this? I would assume there's gonna be some sort of news. Will, um, I would definitely assume that we're gonna get something. Now, to the degree of what, I don't know. Um, but I would assume there's gonna be some tidbits here and there. Jazzy was being mean to you. Did you deserve it? What was lunch? Just some roast beef sandwich, some cheese on it. Tasted like there was some lettuce on it. Onions. I don't know. On like a panini bun, it was good. It was good. What are you expecting to see? Honestly, expecting to see not a whole lot. Expecting to hear quite a bit more. There's like the distinction there, obviously, but in all honesty, Strife, I'm expecting a little bit more details of T'Challa himself. For anyone who hasn't kept up with the leaks, I'm expecting some story spoilers, maybe ish, maybe. Um, I'm expecting them to kind of tease a little bit more of the expansion, whether that's locations, people were fighting. You know what I mean? Like, I'm honestly expecting kind of a date for the deep dive, if not a release date today themselves. Going from Entertainment Weekly into your own dev stream, you have to kind of keep that momentum going, right? Like, you have to keep that shit rocking as much as you can. So I'm expecting quite a bit, but probably not all of it. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Sorry. Let's wait 10 hours for the devs to start. Hey, man, they were waiting for me. They were waiting for me. I'd eat my sandwich. Have they confirmed the Wakanda release date? No, they haven't. They haven't. They still didn't give a date for the OLT. Yeah, Carmine, that's a good point, man. That's a good point. I don't know if they're going to talk about it here, obviously, because it's not really a part of the theme of today's broadcast. But you're not wrong that we are still waiting for that. Yeah, people are still wanting Spider-Man instead of Black Panther. Yeah, they're lost. Yo, Tim, what's up, man? How you doing? What's going on? Jedi, trust me, I saw the comment yesterday between all of the other ones, man. I saw that. I saw that. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Do I think we'll get news on Super Adaptoid? I don't know. How are you liking the MCU skin so far? I've only bought two. I've only bought two. Hopefully, multiplayer Mega Hive at least. Well, that's going to be coming alongside it. So the way they've updated the dev notes on the blog yesterday seemingly implies that that's still on track for a 1.9 release, because everything is supposed to tie together. Multiplayer Mega Hive, the Attack and Anomaly multiplayer editions, as well as the OLT, right? Those are the three things that we know are the big pieces of 1.9. So the fact that they're still talking about Multiplayer Mega Hive, and it seems like that's close, would imply that the rest of it is close. So, Wolford, Wisconsin with Great Lake Avengers, please. Y'all want Spider-Man? I just want the Wasp. All right, all right. All right. What are you guys expecting today? So, obviously, it's a little bit different of a dev stream. I don't know how this is going to go, right? It's like a third-party guest. So this one is going to be a little interesting here. So what do you guys expect out of this dev stream today? Disappointment. Portly. Baby, Portly. All right, oh my god. Can you guys hear? Oh shit, that's going to be super loud. Oh. Wait. Oh, hold on. I didn't realize my shit's all fucked. Okay, hold on. You guys ready?
You just wanted to show off these.
There we go. Beauty. You guys should be able to hear now. Oh, mute us. Thank you. 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 You can be copyrighted. Thank you. I totally forgot about that. Totally forgot about that. All right. Give me 1 sec. Turn it up a little. Okay. All right. Hold on. Told you to turn it down? Well, you dare silence the king? I gotta silence for my channel's sake. I gotta protect my channel, man. I wish they would not use copyrighted music so much. It's like an industry thing more than anything, right? All right. It's an industry thing. As much as I hate it, you know, I can't pick on them for it, you know. All right. All right. PlayStation. I mean, everything is an industry thing. You're not wrong.
Hello, everyone.
All right. Guys, you're gonna have to give me a sound
Friday.
test here or feedback.
It is. It definitely is. I am loving it. I'm super excited. People in chat already saying Mr. Judge, Chris Judge. They're excited. They're excited.
Oh, he's muted. He's muted. And he's muted. Turn it up a bit. Oh, no.
Done. And the chat goes what?
Thank God I'm not the only...
Chris, they're saying you're muted.
Are you muted?
Muted?
I might have muted. I think we're good. Can you hear us?
They're saying there's no audio and they can't hear him.
I am definitely not muted.
All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Are you doing a recap of the stream? I'm going to try
I
my
think it was
best
on my
to.
end. I think we can hear it. They can hear you
I
now.
have some stuff I
Okay,
got to
yeah,
take care of
yeah.
today,
Okay,
but I'm going to try my
sorry.
best to.
I
If
might
not
have
today,
to do
tonight.
that.
If there's a lot of
Okay.
information that comes out of this.
Boy.
He says that?
All
Oh,
right,
he did
there
say
we
it.
go, there we go.
He did say it.
Okay, sorry about that. I think that was on my end. Okay, now the chat is actually going wild. All right, so obviously we have Chris Judge here. He is the voice of Black Panther in Marvel's
you.
Avengers. We're super excited. We got some of your questions on
we did it.
Twitter,
We did it,
on
guys.
Facebook, on Instagram, and we're just gonna get going.
All right.
We also have Evan Narcisse and Hannah McLeod joining us a little bit later at like 10:30ish. But Chris, we have a lot of questions for you.
We got it, guys.
All right, let's get to them.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to mute for this, guys, so I
Alright,
can take notes.
So, first one is, how does it feel to be voicing Black Panther?
You know, it's great. I really had some. Well, I have a definitive list of roles that I would be willing to do, which is very short. And Black Panther was definitely one of them. I never thought I would get the opportunity to do it, but it's been wonderful. It's been fantastic. It's been an honor.
Oh, it's great to hear. All right. So the next,
Alright.
go ahead.
Okay. Next question. What was your approach or inspiration for playing Black Panther? Like, did you do any research into the character, his origins, that kind of thing?
I didn't need to do a lot of research. What a lot of people don't know is I am a nerd, and so I
Yes.
started collecting comics in the '60s. So from that standpoint, I was very familiar with the character. From an actor's standpoint, because I wanted to my version of my interpretation of T'Challa to be my own, to be it judged on its own merits. I really didn't uh, listen to anyone else's take on it. I wanted to be completely kind of autonomous. And having said that, the work I did do was with my wonderful. I hesitate to use the word coach because she was so much more my voice mentor, my spiritual guru, Miss Beth McGuire, who we spent months really trying to dial in the accent. And Beth was also the vocal coach on the film. So
Wow.
I not only hopefully learned the accent, but the origins of the accent, how it came about, and it was a very interesting ride because I'm not a voice artist. Like, they really are artists. They have a library of voices that they can do. I've pretty much got this, and I really don't ever venture out of the kind of basement of my voice. And with Beth, a lot of it was because I didn't want him. I mean, obviously, it's always going to be some sort of me, but I didn't want him to sound like any characters that I previously played. And I couldn't do that if I stayed in the bottom of my vocal range.
I see. All right. So, what were some of the challenges of playing Black Panther, if any, at all?
Well, some of the challenges were kind of recording in isolation. It was really the first time I had done a leading character kind of on my own without any of the other cast present, and due to obviously COVID, we were forced to record that way. So I actually recorded from home, and it's a very different process when you don't have the other actors / characters there to kind of vibe with, play off. So that was challenging. I found that very challenging.
Leila?
All right, I'll ask him
How
when
did
War for
playing
Wakanda's coming out.
Black Panther differ from some of your other roles?
It's interesting. So I like to physically try to be closer to the character that I'm playing. So my previous characters are big, huge, muscly characters. So I worked out quite a bit to get bigger. And one of the things that I found was with T'Challa being obviously athletic, obviously muscular, but he was lithe and quick and springy, and a much different physicality than that. And I was well into I don't know if it's called the COVID 20, but I was probably into my COVID 40 pounds, and I found it difficult to kind of vocally portray the physicality of someone who was lither, more quicker, agile. So I actually I lost, I think, 32 pounds.
Wow.
While we're just because it made me feel different. I carried myself differently, being lighter, being weight-wise.
Wow, interesting. So you like really put like your all into everything.
Well, at my age, and I've been fortunate to have the career I have. I've just vowed to not ever do anything that I don't believe in 100%, and that I'm not 100% committed to. And I have always believed that the physicality of a character is a very vital ingredient into being able to get into the headspace of it.
Yeah, that's some dedication. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely.
for all your roles.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
So this is from a player, Just Tank Man. What is your favorite thing about Black Panther as a character in like everything, all mediums?
That he's not only, very often we get into what a character is able to do physically and not intellectually. I love that he's not only this physically dominant character, but his intellect and his quickness, and he has this sense of humor and lightness about him that I absolutely love. And one of my favorite, not only the relationships with people, and I got to say Wakanda forever. And now that this has been announced, I can wear all my cool Wakanda stuff.
Oh, nice.
Because I remember when I first, when we first started doing it, when I was first hired.
I want that T-shirt.
I felt weird, like, because everything in Hollywood's so hush hush these days. I felt like I couldn't wear any of my Black Panther stuff, or people will go, "Why are you wearing that?"
Because the rumors might start or something. Post like a picture of you on Twitter just for funsies. I didn't even realize you had a Black Panther shirt on. Nice, I love it.
Yeah, this is my first day since getting the job that I've actually worn some Black Panther stuff.
And you're free to do it. You're like, it's out there. I'm gonna wear this on a live stream on Zoom. That's great. I love it. I love it.
All right. Speaking of people, what was it like working with our team at Crystal Dynamics?
It was fantastic. The whole world obviously was going through a very rough time, and to be able to have interactions with people, but also to be able to talk about what was going on in the world, what was going on in our country, that was not, and I don't want to get away from how great they are at what they do, but the emotional support through a lot of heavy stuff that was going on was it was immeasurable how much it helped me to get through a lot of stuff.
Wow.
But yeah, it's and the amount of care that they have and reverence for this character, for Wakandans, for it's great. You like for the dedication of other people that you work with to be equal to yours, and definitely had that, and their reverence and respect and knowledge of not only T'Challa but Wakanda in general was fantastic.
Yeah, I know a lot of our, especially our narrative team, they were just like oozing every time they worked with you. Anthony Beale, who's a big fan of yours, he he was like going crazy, and when I was typing to him, I'm like, I had a session with Chris Judge today. I'm like, I can't wait to meet him, and we were all like, man, let's. I'm so jealous.
He's great, and the great thing is, he kept it a secret until I think our next to last record. I think it was our next to last or second to last record, where he just full on And I was like, man, thank you for not telling me till now, because that's kind of creepy, dog. No.
You're like, that's. You're like, now that
I don't think I could
know."
ever work with Chris Judge and be
No,
like, dude,
he was
I'm
great.
like, and
He
not
was
say I'm a
great.
huge fan. I would give it away in like
Anthony, if you're
the
watching,
first
shout out to you.
5 seconds.
Shout out, brother.
Shout out. All right. So, what does Wakanda mean to you?
Hope, aspiration. As an older black actor, because I don't ever want to be non-committal about I'm black. I've been around since the 60s. So to have a society that is technologically advanced, intellectually advanced, meant everything. When the media entertainment portrayed people of color a certain way for so long, to have this, one of the reasons that I took this job was not only because I love the character and it meant a lot to me, but it was also that I still have in my mind the hope at some premiere or some event, I will have a chance to say thank you to Ryan, say thank you to a lot of the team that got the Black Panther projects done, because I've literally watched different types of Black Panther projects try to get made since probably the 80s, and to finally have it in all its various forms is wonderful.
Wow.
And to be a part of it it's truly it's humbling. It's really humbling.
Thank you. Thank you for answering that question.
Absolutely. Wait, do I have a choice to not answer?
You
Probably
know,
not.
well,
I mean,
I fucking love this guy, man.
could, I
Oh my
guess,
god.
if you really didn't want to.
Yeah, Jake, you're right. It's supposed to be like 6 to 8 hours, man. It's supposed to be 6 to 8 hours.
all right. Here's a question from
Oh shit.
viewers Carrot Scraps, who asked, as an actor, how do you approach a new character?
Internally, I try to. It was a different process with this one. Just knowing that I didn't have the rest of the cast to play off, I had to be more invested in the preparation. With previous stuff, I did my own work and brought that to the table. But one of the great things about working with Beth beforehand was that we got to explore T'Challa's relationships with other characters and really hash them out. Generally, that's something I would wait to do on set to see where it lands, to see where your interaction in person is with the other characters. And because we didn't have that ability to even have like read-throughs together to do any of that, I had to do all that work on my own. Well, not on my own, with Beth McGuire. And so that was a completely different
I love how
process
Evan
for me.
just like shows up and
popped into it
leaves.
Evan, it's okay.
Evan, what's up?
I know. Hey, Evan, how's it going? We'll
See,
talk to Evan and
knowing that Evan was involved.
Yeah.
See, a lot of times just on different stuff that I work on, I always go, such and such character would never say that. With Evan being
Oh
involved,
my
I couldn't
God.
do that.
And then he comes back.
Hi, Evan. You're live right now, Evan. By the way.
No, I know. I decided to come back.
That's cool. That's cool.
Oh my god.
Yeah. How are you, Evan?
I'm good. Hold on, I gotta mute the Twitch because I was watching the stream.
Wait. I wanted to see what was in Evan's background, because that tells so much about people. What's in their background of their.
Okay,
of their-
I love how
gonna
Chris
tilt
is
the
now
camera
like,
a
this
little
is
bit.
my
I
show.
can't wait.
So, it's like a little Black Nerd Shrine. I got.
Awesome.
You can see the Miles
Beautiful.
Morales soundtrack.
Wow.
Right there. Hold on. Yeah, right there. There's Miles Morales. That's an trade paperback of Icon. Milestone Media,
Wow.
their superhero character.
Uh-huh.
That is a book on a Tribe Called Quest by Hanif Abdurraqib, which is
What?
amazing. Yo, you got to read that book. It's amazing. That's a Black Panther helmet that a friend of mine 3D printed for me.
Damn.
I know. I had to.
Can I have one?
That was my reaction.
That's the art of making Miles Morales. I wrote an introduction for that, a forward for that.
Wow.
That's that is art of the movie book, signed by somebody very special. I'm not at liberty to divulge. Last year I broke my hip, and that showed up in the hospital.
Wow.
And that's a French edition. Sorry, I'm like this is my camera works terrible, but that's a French edition to Rise of the Black Panther, which is this beautiful hardcover that one of the artists, Paul Renault, bought to New York a couple of years ago, and it was a wonder. It was a joy to work with Paul. But yeah, anyway, I just want to say hi to Chris. I didn't know you were an old school comic book nerd, so hopefully one day soon we can get together and talk comics. I would love to do that.
I would love it.
Am I invited?
Sure, Andy.
No.
As long as you act right.
Okay, all right, okay. I think we'll go with that. I'll just be in the corner, just so you know, like observing. That
I
sounds
just
really
want to say
creepy.
hi. I don't want to cut into Chris's time. It's been such a joy to have you voicing T'Challa in this game, and I just can't wait for everybody to hear your performance and the world that these guys have been building over at Crystal Dynamics. So
Brother, thank you so much.
All right,
It's
Andy,
been such a
I'm gonna
joy.
pop out.
You can stay if you want.
Okay, I'm gonna stay and be quiet. I'm gonna mute.
Okay. We have a bunch of questions for you later. So, Chris, I think we kind of delved into this. I think you were like leading into it, but so did you find the voice like easy, hard to do, challenging? Like how many different layers went into it?
Oh, a lot.
I'm loving this stream, man. This is like the most like
and
fanboy stream ever, but I'm actually enjoying it a lot.
wonderfully.
I'm such a
annoying
fan of
thing
Chris
about
Judge,
that.
man. Holy shit.
She let me get away with absolutely nothing, and her ear is so finely tuned. She knew exactly when I was trying to cheat. And by cheating, I mean that to get to certain places in my vocal register, you have to bring the air from certain parts of your body and hit it off certain parts of the palate. You know, it's all that stuff that I had never really explored, and she made me very specific. And so there weren't, so we would, the script was voluminous. So when you're doing takes of stuff and you really felt it, and sometimes Beth would go, we're gonna have to go again.
Super blunt, just like nah, again.
But I love her so much. And this is not about race. This is about, it's the genesis of the dialect was the Hausa language. Now this is a white woman who got into her car and drove across Africa by herself.
Wow.
So it lent a different weight to when she would say, this is where this came from, this is where this came from, this is, because she didn't read about it. She went and did it, and her spirit and her openness to her emotions and to, as I said before, everything that was going on in real culture was we would talk sometimes for hours.
Wow.
We would and just I mean, she will be a soul friend for the rest of my life. It's just a wonderful woman, and but a taskmaster. and so there were
Why do you say that name?
recordings, that she
Don't say
made for
that
me that
name.
I would listen to, because initially I knew I didn't want to do a voice match, and I was very adamant about that. So one of the things that I kind of already had in the bank was Forrest when he did Last King of Scotland. So that was my own kind of base going into it,
Interesting.
which I quickly had to get rid of.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'm like, that's interesting. I'm gonna try hearing for that. Okay.
Because her ear for regional African accents, it's incredible. It's almost unnerving. And then part of it came from Mandela. And so at times she would say, "Nope, we need to go again. You fell into your Mandela." And but she's just
Dude, I could listen to
wonderful.
Chris
She's just a
Judge talk for
wonderful human
hours, man.
being.
I'm having the time of my
And,
life right now.
I was
This is
very,
so good.
very lucky and forever affected by being able to work with Beth.
I'm such a
Love
fan.
you, Beth. You got there.
I'm such a fan.
Oh, that's awesome. We have another question from a user. This one's from Cute Little Chaos Kitty. What are you most proud of in your performance?
Kitty. Wow. I'm sorry. Say it again.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Hey, Kitty. What were you most proud of in your performance?
Ooh, I think, wow, that's a tough one. I'm proud of it all. Just that we not just got through it, and when I say we, it's we as the collective. I mean, because my performance is the sum of not just my hard work, everyone's hard work. I mean, the words were great, the scenes were great. There was so much there, and I'm very stubborn. I have problems giving in to things, and what I'm proud of is giving into the truth of a lot of these moments that happen in this, and being able to walk in the truth of this character for the last year and a half, I guess it's been.
Holy shit. Well, I guess because they weren't recording bid last year.
hesitate
Okay,
to say
never mind.
What I'm proudest of, because I'm proud to have,
Or
to
maybe they
be
were
this
recording last
character,
year.
but I'm
Year and a
also
half?
honored.
Jesus.
So it's more about the honor of being this character.
Wow. All right. That is 30 minutes. If you want to hang out, if you want to hang out, go. That's totally fine. Hi, Hannah. How are you? It's a party. But yeah, I know you're super, super busy. So I guess like, thank you so much, Chris,
Thank you.
for everything.
Thank you. You know, maybe I would love once this is out if we could maybe do another one of these with the fans and
That's
hear
cool.
what they think and thought, and just maybe hear from them about it. You know, I think that'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Oh yeah, I definitely have plans for that already, and I really want it to happen too.
Awesome.
So yes, but yeah, on behalf of like just I'm speaking like on behalf of Crystal Dynamics.
I
I'm
would-
not.
I would
Thank
do
you so
some
much.
degenerate
I'm a
shit
big
to get on that
fan.
stream.
I already told you this earlier. We are so happy and so honored to have you as our Black Panther. So thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Crystal Dynamics and Marvel, everyone for letting me be part of this, and to all the fans, I really hope you love this as much as we love doing it.
Chris, thank you again. You know, I mean, you were just talking about
I would do some
the legacy of
degenerate
this
shit to
character
be on that
movies,
stream, man.
You know, like,
No joke.
it's a humbling thing, right? When you approach it, right? And you're like, you realize you're gonna be in this gigantic stream of story that's been going on for like, gosh, almost 60 years. Like,
Yeah.
So, you know, again, thank you so much for your commitment, for, you know, approaching it with like some real soul and some heart. And you know, can't wait for you guys, everybody else, to see and play this. Thank you so much again, Chris, for your time.
Thank you, Evan. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, and thank you, everybody. And you will love it. Take care.
Bye, Chris.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Fuck. All right.
Thank you.
Now we got to follow that up.
I know you guys. Are you ready to follow that up?
All right. No taking
No
time,
pressure.
boys.
No pressure at all.
All right.
No pressure whatsoever.
Somehow I would not be
Uh,
surprised about that.
How are you guys?
Good.
Nice. I'm gonna switch out these nameplates. There we go. Hi, Hannah. How are you? Oh, okay. Anyways, all right. So, thank you, Chris, so much. We can't wait for you guys to hear his version of Black Panther in our Marvel's Avengers. But now we're gonna transition to this next segment with Evan and Hannah. I think Hannah might be having a little bit of audio issues. I don't quite know.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Hannah.
But we'll start with you, Evan. How about that?
Okay. That works for me.
All right. So, you are our narrative consultant. What does that mean?
Basically, it means I help with story, right? So from top to bottom, how what are the game mechanics? We're hearing some ambient audio from you now, Hannah. So like, what are the game mechanics? How can the story, the narrative design, like reinforce the game mechanics, right? How can the game mechanics inform the game design, right? So you know how to hook those two things together really tightly in a satisfying way. So you know that's everything from, okay, does this plot point make sense given the things that the character can do in the game? Given the things that the character can do in the game, how can we make the gameplay more interesting or differentiated? You know, what are the character relationship dynamics? You know, like, why do these people hate each other again? How can we drive that home more? You know, what's their relationship to the game world? You know, what do they do when they're not doing superhero or adventurer stuff? You know, like, so it's kind of thinking about the story that the game is trying to tell holistically. Thinking about the game design as part of that. They're not two separate things. And, you know, basically, it can mean everything from reading the whole script of a game and giving feedback. It can be writing a side quest, you know, coming up with ideas of other side quests. It can be figuring out a character's backstory and writing their lines. So it depends on the particular studio, the game, the project, what they are trying to achieve, what they feel they need help with, what I feel they need help with. It changes like with each different project, but with this one, it was pretty deep and involved. What did you say, Hannah?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. I have yes, I have headphones that both have ears on them because it's me. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like Evan directed me a lot, and the other writers as well on the team, just in terms of remembering things about the character that are core to who he is, especially. And I don't think the movie gets into this as much, which is probably why it's so important to hone in on, is his scientist side, his intellectual side, because I think they lean in the movie very much on Shuri being the tech person and the science person, but it's so core to his character in the comics that he is intelligent and technologically gifted, and he'll upgrade his own suits and he'll come up with his own things. And so it was always important to make sure he was approaching everything from that mindset. He's not just a he's not just a jock. he's not just, you know, going pummeling things and punching stuff. He really does approach things as someone who likes to thoroughly think through things and to kind of examine them and pick them apart. And so that was probably the biggest note Evan continually had me like thinking of, is just, you got to remember that T'Challa is not just a superhero. He is an incredibly intelligent man. So yeah.
Nice.
And she listened.
He did.
The next question pretty much just, you know, piggybacks directly off of that, and it's, what was it like working together for both of you?
Awful.
Awful. Okay, you heard it here first, everyone.
No, it was amazing. When they told us that Evan was going to work with us, I think just about everybody in the studio flipped out. We have a lot of big fans. And so we actually brought Evan to the studio so he could see some of the stuff we were working on, and also so we could just talk to him. And we had a lot of people going, can we come into the room too? Like, can we sit in on this discussion? Because we really all, you know, just want to hear his brain. I think I took a dozen pages of notes that day of just like, and it wasn't always stuff that was specifically having to do with like the plot points of the story. It was really just talking about all of the characters in Wakanda as people and what's important to remember for those characters and how to do them justice. I think that was something that was so important to us, is that we did these characters justice. And I feel very grateful that we've had Evan, because it gives us the confidence to really explore the stories inside Wakanda in a way that I don't think we would have had if Evan wasn't working with us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, for my part, it was really fun, you know, like watching the story change and kind of evolve over the course of the development of this expansion was fascinating and fun. And being able to like help, you know, shape that evolution was great too. So yeah, some of the stuff like Hannah said about, you know, the various characteristics of T'Challa as a personality, that was good. But it's also, you know, like one of the things that was in the forefront of my mind, and the whole team for sure, is like, this is one of the first times that people will be able to return to Wakanda en masse, you know, like you know, after the movie, you know, we saw a vision of Wakanda there that obviously, you know, captured people's hearts and minds. And, you know, yeah, there was pressure about following up on that, but also like, okay, this is a chance to kind of manifest a unique version of Wakanda as a country, as a culture, these characters. So I think that was the most exciting thing for me, was like, these guys had really thought about, okay, what does Wakandan history look like? How do they honor that history? And you see that in the architecture of the game, the way this version of Wakanda looks. And then, you know, you think about, okay, what's different about this T'Challa? You know, and to me, he's very different. You know, his personality is different than the T'Challa we saw in the movie, and even in the comics. You know, I think they've kind of staked out some unique ground here. And you are smiling. So what is the chat saying? I'm
I turned it off. I didn't want the stress.
No, they were laughing when Hannah said it was awful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, clearly you can see that we hate each other.
Yes.
Clearly. So this is for both of you. What were your influences in building the narrative
I'm really
for
like
our
not
version of Wakanda?
taking notes or anything. I'm like really listening intently today, guys. I'm so
I mean,
sorry.
I have specific comic
I'm so
runs
sorry.
that I could probably reference. Interestingly, and I don't want to get into why, the Flags of Our Fathers run, where Cap comes to Wakanda during World War II ended up being quite influential in how we crafted the backstory for our characters. I had never heard of that run, and it's very fascinating to see a different Black Panther because you're so used to seeing T'Challa. So to have Azuri and see that kind of background, it really hit home how important it is to have a set history in mind when you're writing this character, because he comes with all of the history behind it. So you have to be very clear, okay, in our version of Wakanda, this is the history, this is how it's led up to here, here's how these things happened. Rise of the Black Panther also, very much so. I think in addition to the Wakandan history that sort of sits on everything, the family history of T'Challa also really influences everything he does, because there's these key tentpole moments in T'Challa's life that influence who he is as a leader, and so it was very important for us to see, you know, which of those things established in the comics we wanted to take and which we wanted to adjust so that we got T'Challa to the point that he is in our game. So those would be two big ones for me.
For me, I'm a huge Christopher Priest fan. So the work that he did on the character in that title in 1998 is influential to me, and I think everybody who's written Black Panther afterwards. And you know, in particular, probably three storylines: Enemy of the State 1 and 2, where you know there is basically Wakanda, Atlantis, and the Kingdom of Lemuria, which is populated by a genetic offshoot of humanity called deviants. They all come to the brink of war, and Magneto gets involved. So like one of the things that I love so much about the Priest run is that like he really helped develop this idea of what I call like superpowered statecraft, right? It's like, okay, yeah, you know how at the UN, like countries may argue, and you know, two countries that are at war may kind of have disagreements. You know, in the Marvel universe, you know, these countries have superpowers and they have super advanced technology, and you know, they might not necessarily want to abide by the let's play nice and be diplomatic rules. What happens when, like, you know, superpowered nations and superpowered rulers for nations almost come to blows? And I think that that's an idea that Peace explores so well in his run. So those two storylines. There was another storyline where Claw comes back and they have kind of another really intense reckoning, and T'Challa loses his control a little bit, and you see just how viscerally the kind of blood vengeance that he seeks against Claw affects him. You know, Claw is a character that can tip him over the edge because of the threat he poses. So, you know, those storylines, you know, I love Ta-Nehisi Coates' run on Black Panther a lot.
I hope you guys aren't arguing about whether T'Challa can make his own suit. He's one of the smartest minds in the Marvel universe. You guys are tripping today. Relax.
How heavy that duty weighs on you, you know, and what it means when the people you rule.
My man was out there making bombs with Reed Richards to blow up universes in the multiverse, and y'all arguing about whether he can make his own suit. You guys relax.
And, that comes with like a lot of weight. So I think those are some things from the comics that we tried to bring into the game.
Absolutely.
Nice. Layla?
Right, sorry, I just started thinking about, you know, like that question you posed about, like, you know, what does it mean to be a king and like the emotional dynamics. Off in my head, just thinking about that.
We're doing it all the time, so
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
So what is it like writing for a game that's continuously evolving and ongoing? Did that like ongoingness aspect of it factor into your writing? Is that something you took into account?
Oh, absolutely. And Evan's up to date on the game too. He was just talking to us about Clint the other day.
Nice.
Yeah. It helps that the narrative team very much works as a collaborative. Like I there's been a couple articles that have called me the narrative lead on Wakanda, and I wouldn't consider myself that, because our whole team worked very much together on the project, and it's often hard for us to remember who did what part. And Keanu and Nicole and Jess all contributed to that story together. And the usefulness of us working as a team like that is it meant that we knew what was going on the other packs, even though they were being developed simultaneously. And so we could make sure that everything fell in line together, and we're addressing this thing that happened during when we introduced Kate and stuff like that. I really appreciate having a narrative team that is so communicative. Like we're they're on Slack right now talking to me. So we make sure that we're very much in constant communication, and Evan was getting stuff from all of us that we were writing and working on and trying to figure out, how does this affect the world at large, the bigger storyline having to do with AIM, how we were going to use various villains, and that sort of thing. So it's tough only in the sense that any chess move we do is gonna affect all of the others, and so we just want to make sure that they're all in line with each other. But it's because we all work on everything that it's not quite as daunting as it could be.
Nice. Okay. So, what makes our version of Wakanda different than ones that might exist in other mediums?
Oof.
I'm asking the hard questions.
Yeah.
I'll start on that a little bit.
Okay.
This version of Wakanda is not quite as isolated as ones in other media. There was an attempt at establishing diplomatic relations before A-Day, so their existence is known to some people in the world. The exact coordinates, debatable. Are they inviting anybody in? No, definitely not. So I think this version of Wakanda is not just a kind of like whispered myth or legend. Like the people in higher echelons of political power know about it. Maybe does your average American citizen? Maybe not, or they don't want to believe it. So I would say that from the kind of outsider perspective, the rest of the world, that's one major difference. I also think because of some of the changes that we made to this version of T'Challa's backstory, the political mood in the country is probably a little bit different. T'Challa himself is different. And I'm gonna probably keep on beating that drum for as long as we talk about this, because this version of T'Challa, I think, is very different. More arrogant and more aloof, and probably a little bit more aggro, more aggressive.
Yeah.
And I think that trickles down to the rest of the country, right? Like our king's a badass. He's managed to keep us safe, and he's got a really strong will, and the threat that Claw poses, which is the biggest threat that this version of Wakanda has ever faced, it makes T'Challa and everybody around him rethink his approach, his personality, and so I think again, the average Wakanda citizen in this game probably trusts in their king a lot, and they've never seen him kind of falter or reconsider himself. So that probably makes them have, as citizens, a confidence in his abilities that is probably an extreme confidence that then gets shaken by an extreme threat.
There's definitely a lot of reverence toward T'Challa, I think, in our Wakanda because of that. He's less collaborative than we may have seen him in other places.
Hold on.
He's
Did
much
Super Rebel say
more,
the 22nd of August?
My job. This is the thing I have to do. This is the weight on me. So that's definitely true. I think it's also important to note that he's a lot older than necessarily he was in the movie. He's not new to being king. He's been king for quite a while, and so that comes with it sort of a confidence of experience. So that makes him quite a bit different. I think we still wanted to draw from Wakanda all of these important characters like Okoye and Salvavari, who's a comic book character that we pulled for the game, who I really love. So we still grounded it in the comics, but we wanted our T'Challa to be in a place where he didn't think he needed the Avengers. And that he's been doing it on his own for so long that there's no reason for him to think that he's ever going to come across something where he might want other people to join forces with him. And that also contributes a lot to his relationship with Shuri in our game, which I think is very different from pretty much any other version of their relationship. There's a wedge between them, due to a lot of that backstory that you'll get from playing the game.
Yeah.
Trying really hard not to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But there
I can
is
tell.
there's a wedge between them, due to some of the stuff that's happened in their past that they're going to be spending some time working on in this pack.
Awesome.
Oh, here's another question that will test your unspoiling metal. How is it writing our versions of Black Panther, Shuri, Okoye, and Claw?
Okay.
We're testing you guys. This is a test.
All
Well,
right.
I'll start by
Yeah.
answering about Claw. You
Go
know,
ahead.
Again, this version of Claw is different too. You know, like in the comics we've seen Claw as a would-be colonizer. You know, as a somebody who's basically out to kind of steal this amazing natural resource of vibranium from Wakanda. The movie kind of put him as more of a mercenary who was only out for his own profit, and ran afoul of a very aggressive warrior nation. Here, he too is more of a scientist, right? He's not leaning on anybody else to make the gadgets and technology that he needs to achieve his ends. That's pretty much coming from him. I mean, he is in partnership with AIM, so they provide him with support, but this is clearly a vendetta that he's been chasing his whole life. And that's a breadcrumb. That's not a spoiler.
Yep.
I'm counting on you to keep me honest, Hannah.
Will do.
So yeah, the Claw is different in that way. Shuri, I think, in previous versions of the T'Challa and Shuri relationship, you've seen sibling rivalry. In the comics, Shuri is mad aggressive. She's cocky, she's arrogant, and when she became the Black Panther in the comics, she was really not trying to listen to anybody. So this version here is, like Hannah said, more collaborative, than T'Challa, and more social, it feels weird to say, but she kind of feels like more of a teenager here than in the movie,
Yeah.
because we get a sense that, oh, you have friends and you hang out and you're on TikTok all the time.
It's in some ways, it also kind of feels like she's been protected from some of the darker things.
Yes.
She's definitely been sort of shielded from some of the harder stuff.
And she's more, I think, optimistic.
Yeah.
And T'Challa again, this is a dude who, I think, as the embodiment of Wakanda, right? Like, he takes some of those ideals to heart a lot more than in other iterations. So he's a lot more isolationist than other versions of T'Challa from the comic and the movie. I also think he's a lot more angry. With good reason, but and that anger comes out in different ways. T'Challa, I think, mostly in latter day interpretations of him, has been written and portrayed as somebody who has his emotions under control. But I think that's true of this version. But when he gets angry, you know it and you feel it.
Definitely.
And it feels deeply felt.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of Okoye's character, the comics were kind of essential for understanding her as a person and understanding the Dora Milaje. There's some really, really excellent stuff in Ta-Nehisi's run about the Dora Milaje and who they are and what their role is. And I think we drew a lot of that into Okoye's character as well as other Dora Milaje that show up in the game. I didn't know from the movie. You get a very sort of one-dimensional view of who Okoye is and what her relationship with T'Challa is like. But in the comics, it's so much more layered than that because there's this whole weight of the Dora Milaje's history again that influences who they are and what their role was in Wakanda. Originally, they were potential wives for the Black Panther, and that's part of the honorifics and things that they use with Black Panther. So there's that kind of that's not the way it is anymore, but there's that sort of very like relationship between like the Dora Milaje and their panther has a particular weight to it that was really fun to play with in terms of Okoye, of how much can she question what T'Challa does and how much does she still, she's meant to serve the Black Panther, she's meant to protect the Black Panther. So there's sort of that dynamic of, we don't want her to be too disrespectful, but also it's Okoye, so she
sometimes you really should listen to me, Mike.
Exactly. So yeah, that was a really fun balance to come up with, and just getting to read all of the Dora Milaje stuff in the comics. They're so cool. I'm such a fan of them. I hope we get to do more with them. And then from T'Challa and Shuri, I think we've kind of talked around that a lot. I think Shuri's been really fun to include, just in terms of how she relates to the other Avengers too, because that's quite different. Not all of the Avengers in our game have necessarily met or been in Wakanda in other iterations like Kamala. And so getting to sort of see how T'Challa would react to Kamala and Shuri would react to Kamala has been pretty fun because she's such a fangirl and she's so earnest. And it's a little bit different than, how Tony Stark reacts to Wakanda.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so this is from a player, Pewter Odin. What is both of your favorite parts of working on the expansion? I know, all these like weird spoilery territory things that you gotta like weave around.
I think for me, my favorite part was getting to figure out what T'Challa's opinion is of the other Avengers. To figure out like how he would feel about these various characters after A-Day and how he would feel about the decisions they made after A-Day and what decisions they're making now has been really, really fun to figure out because it's different depending on which hero he's talking to. And we really there was a lot of discussions back and forth in the narrative chat of, okay, how would T'Challa feel about Tony, who was living in a trailer, and how would he feel about Kamala being a young teenager being part of the Avengers. So those are really fun things to figure out is specifically T'Challa's opinion on the various Avengers as they appear in our game.
Yeah, and the Avengers' opinions of T'Challa and Wakanda, right?
Bro, chat needs to relax, man. You guys are getting way too wild up in there. My goodness, play nice.
Faith for Tony,
Yep.
But I thought I was smart.
Yeah.
I thought I had cool stuff. Well, you do.
But also, can you share all this cool stuff with me?
Yeah,
please?
yeah. And then the response to that is probably what you expect. Mm-hmm. But yeah, T'Challa and Shuri are gonna see. They're gonna have rivalry with some characters. They're gonna have camaraderie with others. They're going to be impressed by some of the capabilities that these other characters bring to bear. So it's like very much a getting to know you kind of dynamic for a lot of the game, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
Wow, Evan, really?
Thanks so much for Eternal.
Yeah, that's okay. I will say non-spoilery, but I think my favorite hero in Wakanda is Thor. So keep an eye out for for Thor's thoughts on Wakanda.
Interesting.
I didn't write those. That was Keanu and Jess. But they're pretty much my favorite.
Shout out to Keanu and Jess.
Yes.
And Nicole.
And Nicole.
All right. We have a question from Carrot Scraps. This one looks like it's more for you, Evan. As a consultant, how do you guide writers making a new take on an existing character without stepping on existing work and retreading ground while keeping the character's core true?
So I think the comics and the original source material are always the foundation, right? And part of engaging with the comics is acknowledging that they themselves have evolved, right? Like T'Challa, as a personality, his history has evolved over the decades, right? Like Hannah said, um, Dora Milaje were understood one way, but now they're understood another way, right? So um, keeping that sense of evolution in mind, uh, I think definitely frees up people who are adapting these characters into new mediums to also evolve them. Like the point is to tell a fresh story, find a new angle, and when I was working on the Miles Morales game, part of it was, okay, what makes Miles Morales different than Peter Parker, And with this project, it was, okay, what makes this version of T'Challa, this version of Wakanda different than the other things we've seen before, right? But how can we also nod at, those other histories, those other stories of Wakanda that we've seen in other medium? And I think this team does a really good job with it. There's things about like, Wakandan history that are the same kind of beats historically, but like are made manifest in the game. Like I'm talking like physically as certain locations and whatnot. That's very different than the comics have done. And there's a few moments where I was like, "Oh, that's really smart. Y'all thought about this." So, part of it was just again supporting that work, and like Hannah said before, pushing a little bit. Okay, remember this character is also this. Like here's one way their relationship could turn. So it's always finding a balance between acknowledging the history and the foundation that you're stepping off of, but also like looking upwards and outwards to where else you can take it. Right, you're always carrying that history with you, right? And for a character like T'Challa, who again literally is the embodiment of a whole country's history and ideals, like that's such an important thing to keep hold of. And I think we tried our best on it.
Definitely.
Awesome. So we're like past 11. I know
I
everyone
like
is
Evan,
busy,
man. He's
but
cool. He's a
before
cool
I
guy.
have
He's a cool guy.
one, like really
Did they show any gameplay? No, they did not. They did not.
past 11. I know everyone is busy, but before I have one like really open-ended question at the end. Before we get
Okay.
there, if you guys, everyone in chat wants to read more about it, go to our Entertainment Weekly article where they interviewed Chris Judge, and Narcisse, and Hannah, all three of them. And I just want to clarify that the 25 hours does include the base game, the Reassemble campaign, Operations, War for Wakanda.
Imagine if
And I
Wakanda
can't
was
wait for you guys
25
to play
hours,
that.
dude.
But
Oh my
before we
god.
end, both of you, what do you guys want players to take or to get out of playing War for Wakanda?
For me, like whenever I think about Wakanda, like from a story perspective, but also like a meta perspective, it's like the symbolism of what this place represents, right? Like black achievement, black excellence, the spirit to endure and thrive in a world that doesn't often want to understand you or respect you. To do that anyway, that's what Wakanda realizes. That Wakanda is a realization of that idea. And we definitely tried to home in on that too. T'Challa's personality and the way he embodies his role as king is definitely a result of that kind of thinking, right? But also, the thing that I think this story has in common with Rise of the Black Panther is
Fuck them
how
all
do you
out of
present
water.
all of that to the world, in a way that encourages collaboration and partnership versus fear and suspicion and greed. So I think there's like a meta narrative about what Wakanda means and symbolizes to people that you can also embed in the text itself, and I think we really tried to do that.
Yeah. I think for me, I want people to see the layers that exist for Wakanda that I think not everyone is aware of just by virtue of the movie being the most sort of popular thing. But there's a lot of really interesting layers to Wakanda in terms of the politics, in terms of the different tribes, in terms of the different roles in the government. You know,
Hmm.
Wakanda is not one monolithic thing, and I think that's part of what makes it so much a source of hope, like Chris Judge said, which
Excuse me.
I almost cried when he said that. This I want people to see that Wakanda is not just one thing. It means a lot of things for different people. And I hope that by the end of it, it's sort of stuck with you too. That Wakanda has left a mark on you as well. I think that would make me really happy.
Aw. Okay. That's amazing. That is all the time we have. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, chat, for tuning in. We have a lot more to show for Wakanda, a lot more to blogs, streams, all that stuff going into the future before we launch, and we can't wait for you guys to get in. Yeah, I guess that's it. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Evan, so much for everything. We are so happy to have you. I am also a fan. I keep telling everyone this. Sorry if it's creepy, by the way. I'm just gonna.
Oh, it's all good.
But yeah, I'm a huge comic book nerd, so same thing. Thank you so much for.
We'll
coming
probably
on
get
here
a
and
date,
for just
Isaac,
consulting our team and everything.
when the deep
we-
dive
we're
comes.
It's been a ton of fun. I can't wait. To
The
dig
deep
into
dive
this
will come
expansion
with the
and see it
date.
all come to life. And I hope everybody enjoys it. And thank you guys for having me on.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
All right, everybody.
Bye.
Take
All
care.
right.
Have a good weekend.
All right. All right. What are you guys saying in chat, man? I'm out here being a fan. You guys are taking my role today of being cynics. Okay. Let's see. God, I was such a fan of that stream, and now I got to come back to reality that you guys were arguing in chat, eh? Jeez. All right. So no, they didn't show any gameplay. All right. So they didn't show any gameplay. There was no dates. All right. So there was nothing that you guys listen. All right, listen. Here's the real talk shit. All right. I get it. OLTs are supposed to come this month. All right. We still hit. Okay. So here's the way I think about content release schedules. Always assume it's the last week of the month unless said otherwise, right? I think if you go with that idea, you're probably okay, right? So OLTs last week of July, Wakanda last week of August. If you sit there and you think of that, if it comes out next week, for example, you're fine. If it comes out the last week of July, you're still chilling, right? Here's the thing. For people who are worried about OLTs, they literally just put a blog post out yesterday, their weekly blog, that talked about multiplayer mega hives, right? And I can't understand if people forget that the 1.9 is OLTs, multiplayer mega hives, and Attack on Anomaly multiplayer editions, right? So if they're going to put out a blog post talking about multiplayer mega hives and they haven't really said anything about the OLT, I would imagine it's still coming back with it, right? That's the thing, right? Why is it always the last week of the month? I don't know, Daniel. Daniel, I love you, buddy, but you are one of the most critical, cynical people that have ever graced my stream. And sometimes you just got to be a fan sometimes, bro. You just got to be a fan sometimes, man. I would always just assume it's the last week of the month because otherwise you're waiting on the first week and you're going to be disappointed, all right? Listen, that's where I'm going with it, all right? So basically, if they're putting out a blog post saying they're making changes towards the multiplayer mega hive, I would still assume that it's all coming, you know? I wouldn't worry about OLTs. All right, have people also forgotten that the OLT is going to be the same thing as the Kate's final mission, except the boss fight's going to be different? Like, what else are they going to show about it? If you show the boss fight, you've shown the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so much information you can technically give about the OLT without spoiling the OLT itself, right? It's still the same mission, still the same mission structure. It's only the boss fight that's going to be different. You start showing that, the whole thing's gone. Like, that's that right there. All right. Second of all, if you guys are going to start calling people clowns and poses and shit, you guys are just going to get nuked from the chat. Like, I just don't care anymore. Really? Like, if you guys can't have a conversation without calling people names, you guys are just going to get nuked. I don't care for it. And you can come to my Twitter DMs and you can ask me unbanned. That's it. So that's it. They should give it a date for at least for OLTs or day for the deep dive for War for Wakanda. Okay, one of those I agree with and one of those I don't, right? So here's the thing. So this one here, when your stream is dedicated to like a narrative perspective of War for Wakanda, it's like I said this before the stream, JDC. It's like really it's like hard to kind of shift focus then and be like, oh guys, like 1.9, this, you know what I mean? This though, I would agree with that. Sure, I would agree with that. Oh, later, buddy. And there we go. Cool. Very easy, guys. Very easy, guys. So, yeah, it's like it's not hard for me to nuke people from this stream. I don't care. You guys can watch. You guys cannot watch. You guys feel free. I think you missed this comment. Oh, right. Sorry. I read it, man. I read it. I'm kind of addressing the toxicity first, and then we'll get back to the poorly. Shut up. Okay. So here's the thing. I understand people are very I understand people are super cynical right now. I myself have been super cynical, okay? But when you go into a stream that has been advertised as one thing and you expect something totally different, I don't know if I'm the one that's crazy for sitting here being a fan of this stream, or if you guys are the crazy ones. I understand if you wanted a deep dive War for Wakanda date. I understand that, right? But just have a little critical thinking here, like a little critical thinking. You know, do you think that the deep dive is gonna be next week? No, I think the deep dive is gonna be the last week of July. Last week of July. So yeah, like if you guys want more information on Wakanda, I get it, but like, to sit here and say we want more OLT information, it's literally the final mission of Kate's DLC with a different boss fight. They really can't show anything more, right? It's probably going to be the last week of the month. It's you know what I mean? Like it's there. I can only lead you guys to the water. I can't make you drink, sort of situation going on, you know? How was the stream? Dude, I loved it. I was a fan. I was a fan the whole time. I loved every second of it. There was some spoiler. I don't want to say spoiler, but there's some story information there. I'm a huge fan of Chris Judge, so I loved every second of it. I loved kind of just the whole situation, man. I loved the whole situation of the stream today. You know, it's not for everyone. Don't get me wrong. It's not for everyone. But if you came in expecting this, you got what you came for. You know. How is Future Revolution? How is Cap gameplay? Another character you're playing as after Cap? I might talk about that a little later, Nerdcast. It's okay if you're looking for a mobile game, bro. If you're looking for a mobile game, it's good. It's good. Hold on. Jake says something. I wish that you guys wouldn't come out a month before the DLC, like how Clint did it. Making a whole month beforehand feels weird to me. Sure, I mean, there's good points to be made, right? Like, there's good points to be made there. I mean, I'm just, you know, every time I look over at chat, it's like people are just like arguing. I'm just like, oh my god, guys, like why, you know? You know, I hope they don't give Black Panther a goofy neon suit. I hope they do. I'm gonna buy it. Judge was awesome. Evan and Hannah were great. Really insightful comments from everyone, even without dates or gameplay. It was really great. Yeah, I mean, it was a fun stream. Did you generally believe that difficult OLTs will be as hard as they say? Probably not, man. If I'm going to be honest with you, buddy, it's so hard to imagine that, right? Because, like, so if you just push the delta up, right? So the delta is like the overall scaling of it, right? If you push the overall delta up, can you effectively make it very difficult? Yeah, to a degree. But I feel like Phil has said that they're not pushing the delta up to 170, right? So if you don't push the delta up to 170, what can you do in the meantime to change that fight around? I don't know the answer to that, buddy. I'm interested to find out. Do I think it's going to be do I think it's going to be super difficult to the point where everyone's going to struggle? No. I don't think so. I think my dumbass is going to clear it super quick with my team. And if I can clear it super quick, the rest of you guys should be able to clear it super quick, you know? Now I want highlighter Black Panther. Watch them give us Pink Panther. Yeah, why not? You know? There's no way OLT will be difficult versus a group of full one-shot builds. Yeah, if they're not pushing the delta up to 170, I don't think so. Any more updates coming out? It's gonna be minor or major until the War for Wakanda update. 1.9 is coming out this month. Big ZZ. So 1.9 will have the first OLT, which is our first look at their end game content. And then it'll also have multiplayer mega hives. So if you do the mega hive now, it's just added with multiplayer. They're also making priority missions, changing the priority missions around with 1.9. So it'll be another avenue for exotics. And then they're making it as well as with anyone can play any character in any group. So 4 things coming with 1.9 as well as with the changes, patches, and all sorts of shit. Sorry, my brain's a little fried. But who's the other villain for War for Wakanda? Crossbones. Yes, Warrior's right. It's Crossbones. Do you think they would give a gold suit / Killmonger suit? I would like to see that, Jay, but considering they haven't touched on alternate character costumes yet, I'm skeptical of it, but I would love to see it. For people to look at Judge's passion for the character and there seems clear reverence for the specific comic runs and understand people can't be positive coming out of this. Spam, I think it's a lot of it comes down to is people are just wanting more. You know what I mean? So people want obviously information of the patch coming out this month, right? And then people want the deep dive. They want to see gameplay, right? And I'm with them. I want to see gameplay. But I look at this stream in particular. It's it was advertised as a Q&A with the actor and the writers, right? So and I think nowadays, if they're advertising a stream is one thing. So before I did my rant video a month ago or a month and a half ago, right? Beforehand, it used to be a shit show of what you were gonna get during a stream, right? So then you'd go into a stream and you wouldn't know what the fuck you're getting, and you're like, oh, that was fucking waste of time, right? Nowadays, you go into a stream, they advertise beforehand, and they're like, hey, small stream, we're gonna talk about some small updates on this stuff, blah, 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 blah. And it's you know exactly what you're getting, right? So when I come into this stream in particular, Q&A with Chris Judge, Evan, Hannah, I'm I don't expect fucking crazy shit, but I understand people on the same hand want dates for a deep dive and some, you know what I mean? I get it, but it also at some points I don't either, you know? I don't know. Hope they add more layers to the Yapto boss fight instead of just giving it a damage buff. I think you're probably on point with that, Iron Ninja. I don't know. I really don't know, man. I don't know. The one thing about the OLT is I feel like we're all gonna smack it really quick. I feel like we're all gonna smack it super fucking quick, man. And it's gonna be brutal, you know. We take it with hard work, happy to contribute to the game. Hey, Big ZZ, man, as long as you're having fun, bro, it's all that matters, man. It's all that matters. You will meet the right place for characters and designs. Avengers characters may be hit or miss, and that's why some people may not like it, which I can see. Yeah, Nerdcast, I just 100% agree with you, man. 100% agree with you. I mean, there's lots of things to take away from both games, good and the bad, you know. And I think there's reasons to like both. You know, I've always said both games can exist and both games can coexist, and there's nothing wrong with either of them coexisting, you know. What about Spider-Man? That man's coming out in December, bro. That is a December release right there. Okay. So I honestly did not take a lot of notes. I did take notes, but I'll be honest with you guys. I fanboyed through most of that stream. And if you guys were here, you kind of saw that I just stayed very quiet and just listened for a lot of that stream. And it's been a long time since I've done that. I don't even know if I'm gonna post these put these in a paste bin because I mean there's some stuff here, but you know, I don't know. You think Panther Ultimate would be a different moveset, for example, Logan Rage Attacks and Wolverine? That's all been leaked, Shrek. That's been leaked. His abilities have been leaked. So what did I miss in the dev stream? Oh, what's up, Quicksilver? To be honest with you, man, so basically it was divided into 2 parts, Quicksilver. So the first part was talking with Chris Judge, and if you know Chris Judge, Kratos, Teal'c, as his two big roles. They were talking about playing Black Panther. And then the second part of it was with the writers, so Hannah and Evan being a narrative consultant for Crystal Dynamics, and just talking about the story, some relationships, the world building, kind of some things to expect out of some stuff to expect out of the story, just stuff like that, man, just stuff like that, He's getting the spear for an assault heroic. Yeah, Jake, you're right. The stream is increased by confidence in the expansion, not the hype levels, but difficult. I'm excitement level has increased. I mean, it was a good stream, man. It was a good stream. I was having some fun with it, Chris Judge was also Magneto. Yeah, and the one X-Men cartoon, right? I forget which one it was. Was hoping for a Thor MCU skin announcement next week, but great stream overall. I feel like true. I feel like that if they were going to do that, it would just be announced on Twitter like the day before, what they did for White Widow, right? So not out of the realm of possibility, but definitely something they could still do on Twitter. No, you're good, Shrek. You're good. Repeat after me. Darius, you'll be the first person I play with when Black Panther comes out on stream. There you go. Do you know what Black Panther range ability will be? He will have the spear and then daggers, if I remember correctly. You'll have the daggers. I think, if I remember correctly. Someone with better memory can correct me on that one. Going to watch Black Widow on Tuesday, avoiding spoilers. Quicksilver, enjoy it. That would be it's a good movie, man. There's some things I didn't like about it, but that's with every movie. Enjoy it, have fun. Challenge cards should have continuous rewards for each hero. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. That'd be very cool. Burst, you gotta. Insane theory just out of my head. Imagine Chris Judge as a live action Black Panther. He's a big guy, man. He's a big guy. I would like to see it, but my man is huge. Like, bitch stands for Black Widow, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Hulk. All right. Did you do a video on the Black Panther leak moveset from way back? Let me see. I think I covered that in our weekly recap here. Give me 1 second. I think I covered that with good old Stardust. The man, the myth, the legend. Good old Stardust. Where was it? We did talk about this, right? We did talk about this. Fuck, of course I don't ever... fuck. We did... I swear to God we did talk about it. Or did I do a video on it? Hold on. It's got to be in here. Black Panther. It's in here. It might be in here. Might be in there. It's in one of those. What's this news about someone liking Thor and War for Wakanda? I just woke up. So Hannah said that the writing in Thor, like Thor's reaction to Wakanda, is some of the best writing, or that she personally likes. I almost walked out of Black Widow. Really? All right. Any news on Thor skin? People saying it's broken, so they can't release it. I would like to know what their source is, because I have no news on Thor skins. If someone's saying that it's broken so they can't release it, they either have some inside source that I don't chrome, which is always possible, or they're just making shit up. But to know that, I'd have to know who's saying it first. So I'd have to know that. Wasn't that the recap random on tangent about possible Doctor Strange moveset? Strange how I remember that. It might be something like that, Jake. I just don't remember which one it is. But I know Dickhead and I went over it one time. I just can't remember. It's one of these. I think it's probably this one. It's probably that one. It's that one. When do you think we'll officially lead the AIM storyline next year? And if that happens, do you think they'll alter new missions, the OG regions that AIM's president felt? No, probably not. I imagine it would be like it would be a split, right? So, for example, say they move away from aim, right? And say there's like a say there's like a hard stop here, right? This is pre-aim and this is post-aim, right? They wouldn't go back and alter pre-aim stuff to reflect post-aim. It would just be post-aim that they would just reduce the influence of aim, right? But like the pre-missions would still have aim. Gossley said the skin was broken, they couldn't release it unless he has sources inside. I mean, I can only assume that they're working on it, not that it's broken, you know? That's where I would stand on that one. Potential decent news ahead. I was wondering when No Way Home trailer dropping. Apparently it's coming out July 22nd. Sony Twitter account posted the day and deleted it shortly. All right. Let's see it. It's about to get very Muppety up in here. Hold on. All right, we're checking this, and then I gotta do some errands today. So, is it on the spoiler subreddit? I don't see it. It's probably all over Spider-Man Twitter, though, right? I would imagine it's all over Spider-Man Twitter. All right. All right. It's probably all over Spider-Man Twitter. I'll take your word for it. All right. I wonder if Beta Ray Bill be in Marvel's Avengers at all? As a skin, yeah, totally. As a character, probably not, no. Who would you want to see after Black Panther? Winter Soldier. Me personally, Black Widow is a 7 out of 10. There was some decisions that weren't for the better. I didn't like on the nose lines of C and Nat. Me personally, I love the first act alone. 2 and 3. Just saying speed up. Yeah, I mean, the movie kind of gets a little away from itself at the end of it, but the first act was good. Second act was like okay. It's the third act that it kind of gets away from it, you know? I'm asking because hold on, Big ZZ. Was it your original? I'm asking because so far I'm in the champion skill tree. I haven't loaded up the critical chance yet. Does that contribute to the stun meter at all? No, there should be I don't think that one does. There should be one specifically for the stun meter. If Beta Ray Bill wasn't a skin, he'd be a summon at best and straight up NPC at worst. What we really want to know is what Funko Pops you got. Too many, man. Too many. Next character will be the War Machine, Winter Soldier, or She-Hulk. I'm hoping for Winter Soldier. This game needs way more cooperative missions. I agree with you, Donnie. I agree with you, buddy. It's funny how they said it's the best Marvel movie. You know what, Carson? Like, everyone's got their own opinion of like what the best Marvel movie is, right? Like, if I ask chat right now and people in chat gave me an answer, like some of you are gonna have some overlapping, right? But like most of us will probably have a different opinion. And that's totally cool. You know what I mean? Like totally cool. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's whatever is your favorite or best one. You know. How do you get summons? The only one right now is the Hank Pym one, and there should be a mission chain for it. Thanks, man. Appreciate your hard work and keep it the great sub, by the way. Thanks, ZZ. Thank you, sir. Winter Soldier, Black Panther top 5, best Marvel movies, Infinity War. You know what I mean? So both Guardian movies, best Marvel TV shows, The Punisher. You know, like everyone's got a different opinion. So when someone says something's the best, so for example, like whenever someone says something is the best, I'll usually be like, okay, like, you know, but like, you know, whatever. Do you think they'll officially reveal Crossbones before War for Wakanda releases? Yes, because he'll probably be in the deep dive. I hope Black Panther can summon the Dora Milaje, the Master. I agree with you. I'm surprised No Way Home leaks are coming from toy companies like Hot Toys and like how they aren't hiding the damn thing. I'm expecting some level of secrecy for suits, especially with the Funkos. All that says to me, Nerdcast, is like the trailer's long overdue, you know? The trailer is long overdue. Anything good revealed outside lore and story? Not really, man. Not really. It was definitely like a lore and story stream. Lore and story stream. Prefer Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but Punisher was damn good. Yeah, Punisher and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at times were really fucking good. Elevator talk between Iron Man and Bucky be like all the Marvel movies except Tom Holland Spider-Man. Well, I hope you're ready for Andrew Garfield stealing the spotlight in December. Will we be able to change villain skins in the future? Example, Age of Ultron for Ultron, Infinity War Endgame, If y'all decide to put Thanos in, just wondering, that would be fire. That's a cool idea. I doubt it though. I doubt it. As an army vet, Punisher is cringy as fuck. Really? Really? Do you like Star Wars games? Some of them. Some of them I like. Some of them I like. All right. All right. Few more minutes here, guys, and then I gotta head out for the afternoon, or I guess afternoon and evening. I got corporate to hire you. Wait, what? You got me a job, Black Wakanda? Oh my god. Yo, bro, what do you think of the King twist and Multiverse Madness not becoming a thing? Mobius forgetting, maybe crying. The King statue dropped my fucking jaw. Dude, the finale of Loki was heartbreaking. Exciting then heartbreaking, like in like the span of like 5 minutes. What a great way to end a show. But what a weird way to end the show as well, you know? It feels like I've seen people compare it to like a mid-season finale. I'd be inclined to agree. It feels like a mid-season finale. Simply because of like the way it's like it ties in. There's like so much there of like the ramifications for it. And now it's like we got to wait so long for those ramifications to come forward with it. I mean, like, yeah, it's tough. It's tough because like as much as I love it, I think like the problem with the ending is like it just made me want more super quickly, you know? And that's the thing. I found it weird the way they presented Kang and Loki. Why? What happened? Bringing back McGuire and Garfield should make me happy, but it just feels like a gimmick. We just got to enjoy the gimmick for while it's here, Jake. We just got to enjoy it. Is Loki going to be in later DLCs? Ideally. If someone said it's their favorite, then it's whatever because that's personal opinion. But since it's the best, then it would depend on the reason for me why it's the best. Sure, yeah, you gotta qualify that. Yeah, of course, for sure. Tom Holland Spider-Man doesn't feel like Spider-Man if you ask me. What feels like Spider-Man to you? And then what does Tom Holland not do as Spider-Man? Because I mean, it feels like Spider-Man to me. But last question: what would Spider-Man range attack be? You know. That was a really bad like whip sound, but you guys are gonna have to live with that. Imagine changing web suitors like Clint's arrow. Speaking of Loki, when is he actually make an appearance in the game? Good question. I don't know. I wonder when Kang will become blue. Well, he's like Kang's blueness is from the helmet, right? It's like a helmet that does that. He's not actually like a blue person. He's not a blue person. If I remember correctly. Kang's like a white dude under the helmet, right? If I remember correctly, like back in the day. Unless they retconned that somewhere and now he's actually a blue person. When is Squirrel Girl coming to the game? Not soon enough. So nice to start cast. I thought he would have been really full of it. Well, I mean, that's like it's like a different one, right? It's like a different one. Like Kang the Conqueror is going to be totally different than Immortus that we saw, right? They're going to be two different, like they're going to be very different, right? So if you're expecting like Kang the Conqueror, you're going to get Kang the Conqueror very soon in Ant-Man. So coming to DS2 from the show, DS2 explaining how he gets a TVA to me strange. Yeah, I don't think he's going to show up. I think it's people riding the hype a little bit. I think it's them riding the hype a little bit. I don't expect them to show up. Spider-Man Twitter would be less talk if people respected each other's opinions. Iron Ninja, I agree, but only because I went to war with Spider-Man Twitter like last week, and I'm gonna go to war with them again when the trailer drops. So fuck it. To be honest, really, Andrew felt more appropriate for being in the MCU. Tom just feels out of place. I wouldn't have minded Andrew, to be honest with you, Shrek. I was a big fan of Andrew Spider-Man, and I really would have loved to see Andrew in place of Tom in the MCU. I don't have an issue with Tom or his like rendition of Spider-Man. I was just always a fan of Andrew, so I really would have liked to see Andrew kind of, you know, be propelled forward into the role that Tom is. But I mean, you know, okay, man, entire side making this game, so Rob's getting better and better. I got my money into the last DLC. Matt props for pushing it through. I guess he's a variant, but he said one of the titles is Conqueror. I thought he said like one of the variants is known as Conqueror or whatever, right? I could be misremembering. You could totally be on the point with that, you know? Jesus, Black Wakanda. Then the King statue in TV isn't real Kang's. He doesn't have his helmet. I think it's, well, I don't know. It's too early for me to say because I haven't really thought about it, Nerdcast. You could be onto something though. Speaking of War Machine, no, he's dead. War Machine's dead. He's not coming to the game, all right? Yeah, Jake, you were right. Yeah, Jake, you're right. It was super close. Like, it was like within spitting distance of like Amazing Spider-Man 2 and the MCU being interlocked at that point. Like, spitting distance. I hate that shows are so short now because companies don't trust people to watch it. Like, remember when we had shows that ended the show with 23 episodes each with 40 minutes long? I think a lot of that comes down to one is that like a lot of the time when it comes to like network shows like that, you get like 23 episodes, and this isn't going against Agents of Shield because Agents of Shield did two different storylines and they made them very good. But a lot of the time stuff like that was like a lot of it was just filler. You know, there's a lot of shows that do super fucking huge filler. So if in an ideal world, I agree with you that give me 23 episodes, 40 minutes long, flesh it out, fucking give me like the best story you can. But if it's gonna be filled with filler, just fucking knock the filler out. Give me 13 episodes and give me like the most condensed kind of story that you can. Because I don't want to sit through like filler. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to sit through shit that doesn't matter. Give me the story start to finish all the way through. But I mean. Yeah, I mean, obviously more is better if you can give me more that's of a reasonable quality, right? Tom Spider-Man just lost me. He was excited because he's coming to the MCU, but unless the Russo brothers have had him, he just lost me. Loved him in Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame, though. Okay, interesting. Are we excited? What if could tie into the branch realities? I would expect it would be Nerdcast. I expect it will be. Would be? What is wrong with me? Some shows don't need 20 episodes like Lucifer. I think it just depends. Like, there's so many factors that go into it, you know? And there's so many things that go into that, I think. This was JDC. That does not sound unusual. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. We've spent many a days here talking about traversal and how that could be a huge issue. So don't worry. You have found yourself a new home here, if that's your opinion. Don't worry. I don't get how they would make War Machine if Avengers, because his abilities would be similar to Iron Man. Well, that's probably the issue right there. Y'all see the Loki director isn't returning? Kate Herron, she's not returning? Uh-oh. That's not good. That's not good. Hope they add Avengers Towers and Outposts in Eastern Seaboard. Me too. The Watchers multiversal Avengers could recruit more alternate heroes to stop Kang in a possible Secret Wars movie. Seems like they're going towards Secret Wars. They're inching their way there. So, wonder if Agents of Shield, Daredevil, etc. are now variant timelines. More than likely, anything's at play now, I guess. Which to me, if anything's at play, it makes the Quicksilver situation like really weird. But I guess that's only because like WandaVision came out before. But it's like, you know. How do you feel about Marvel? Wait, MHA? Wait, what's MHA? Sorry, I got to burp. Excuse me. What did I miss from the dev stream? I blacked out. No, Tristan, you're good, man. Honestly, just like story stuff, man. If you're a fan of Christopher Judge, then the first part of the stream really speaks to you. If you're a fan of like the lore and the story, and you know you want to hear like some of the tidbits of the world that they're building, the second part of the stream really speaks to you. If you're a fan of both, then the whole thing fucking speaks to you. But there wasn't gameplay, there wasn't no dates, there's no dates for it, there was no 1.9 news. It was just like story and Christopher Judge. And My Hero Academia, oh bro, I'm not watching My Hero. I watched one episode. And that was it. I haven't gone back. I haven't gone back, Shrek. I really should. I really want to. I've been watching. You guys are gonna hate me, man. I've been on a Digimon binge. This whole like the last like few weeks, I've been on a Digimon binge. So I've been hanging out, watching Digimon, playing Digimon. I haven't really done a lot else. Who do you think will lead the Avengers now in the MCU? My man, Sam Wilson is gonna lead the Avengers. And if it's anyone else, I'm throwing hands. I'm throwing fucking hands. Wait, did you see that Megan Thee Stallion is going to be in She-Hulk? No, she's going to be herself bestow. Oh, really? She's not playing a character? It didn't come home? I know. It went to fucking Rome. Unbelievable. Digimon is on the Walmart Pokemon. Will, you want to take this outside? You want to take this outside, Will? I'll meet you outside, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Um, I think they'd handle DC better than Warner Brothers. I just don't want everything to be under one conglomerate. You know what I mean? Iron Ninja. I hope they had Hyrule's Basement in Avengers movie to explore Hyrule's nerdy life. Jesus Christ. Only Digimon stuff I got into is the Cyber Sleuth games. I'm actually playing that tonight, Jake. I'm gonna buy it on PC. It's like $20. I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna start tonight. I'm excited. I'm excited for that. War Machine Support Hero would be a buff for damage. Damage Hero would be Alpha Strike. And the Ultimate Hero would be unlimited ammo for a set amount of time. That's sick. He says he's too busy watching Digimon. Yeah, bro. What's up, Doom? What's going on, man? War Machine could easily be more tanky and have overheat mechanic where you can maybe deal more damage at the risk of lowering its defense. That's cool. Did you see Titan's trailer? I have not seen Titan's trailer. He's probably ending the stream to go watch Digimon. Shame on him. I'm ending the stream. Okay, here's what I'm doing. Okay, you guys want to know my whole day? Here's my whole day, all right? So my whole day planned out here. Bro, name 10 Digimon right now. Bro, I'll just, like, take out my cards. All right? Portly? Oh, Jesus. Portly, think you're tough, Portly? All right? I got a whole deck right here. All right? Bro, do you even know what Titans is? Yeah, the TV show. All right? You coming at me, Portly? Yeah, you want some of that? Yeah, that's what I thought. Bitch. I'm just kidding. Okay, so here's what I got going on. Since you guys think I'm leaving to watch Digimon, I'm going to go down to the marina without the cards. Shut up. I'm going down to the marina today. I got some shit I got to do, and then I'm playing Cyber Sleuth tonight. So there's my day, guys. I'm not watching Digimon today yet until I get into bed tonight. All right. You're officially an Englishman. We adopting you. Stardust will pay for your rent. Perfect. Perfect. Listen, I've been a fan of England since my boy Wayne Rooney out there. Then he got a hair transplant. Then I lost faith in him, you know. I think after he got the hair transplant, you know, he totally lost his superpowers. But, you know, everyone just going at you. Dude, it's another day here, Dark Manta. It's another day here. What is up? Hey, man, what's going on? What's going on? We're just here like just chatting shit, I guess. I think we're just chatting shit here. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 7 followed the same rule of Apocalypse and Loki since they're always meant to return to the main timeline. Anything that happened didn't matter because it wasn't actually diverging. Oh, interesting. Interesting. You streaming tonight? I'm gonna be streaming over on Twitch playing Digimon. If you're talking about here, I'm gonna be streaming this weekend. So I gotta talk to Stardust because we haven't done a recap in the last few weeks because there's really been nothing to recap, right? I'm gonna talk to him probably later today to see if he wants to do a recap for this stuff this weekend. In all honesty, it doesn't really feel like there's a lot to talk about. You know, it's like, oh, there's some story stuff, there's some this, there's some that. It's like cool, but like, you know what I mean? So I'll talk to Stardust and we'll see what we come up with. So did you watch my fan-made trailer of the Marvel's Avengers? I did not. Went downhill once the hair plugs got installed. Dude, honestly. Literally. Like, my man this is why I'll never change this. Keeps my superpowers up. Going to the studio to finish. Yo, dude, I can't wait to hear it, man. I can't wait to hear it, bro. I'm excited, man. I'm super pumped for that. I'm just looking forward to playing Avengers soon, playing the Super Adaptoid next week. I don't think it's going to be next week, Hitman. I definitely think it might be the week after. Expect the end of the month, but you can also hope for next week. Yeah, I just think it's probably safer to assume the end of the month than it is next week. Got to go look forward to watching your next stream. Yo, Shrek. Thanks, man. Thanks. Which Agent Shield properly canon, but season 5 armors went too insane to fit back in properly. I mean, now I guess it could be, right? Because then it's like one timeline, and then it diverges into another timeline, right? So like technically, it technically could not. So it's not part of the main timeline anymore. You could say like it started out as one divergent timeline, and then it diverged again. And then they time traveled back into their original diverging timeline, right? So like maybe something like that. I guess it's a little complicated, but like you could technically fit it in. It's just like, yeah, it's not part of like the main timeline, you know. I hope Dreams comes to PC if you get way more players. Is that the one where you can like create shit? I'm in the studio to do a diss track on Hyrule later. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. You either come with fire, or you don't come at all, man. Who do you think is the next MCU hero to die? I don't know, man. That's an interesting question. What MCU film are you most excited for in the MCU? Shang-Chi. Who do you think is the next DLC character after Spider-Man? I would like to think it's going to be She-Hulk. Honestly, I would like to think that Winter Soldier releases this year still, and then She-Hulk at the start of next year. I'm probably way off, but to me, that's what I would like to get. I guess everything is canon in the MCU. Technically, now everything is, yes. Fitting with the current timeline, following with Disney Plus, he has a divergent timeline is technically canon. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. On a serious note, there was my Thor MCU skin against us. Good question, bro. I have no idea, man. I have no idea. I would imagine they're still working on it. To the degree and what they're implementing, who fucking knows? I can only imagine that they're still working on it to some degree, you know? Only complaint about the game is the AI companions either stand in my way way too much, or I get killed or glitched out. My game will act up. Will that be patched emo wheel soon? If you have video of that, Big ZZ, my Twitter is at AssembleCast. If you can get video of your AI companions doing some real dumb shit, let me know and send it to me on Twitter if you can. And I can send it in to the team and hopefully get them to look at it through like my channels. The emo wheel, I would hope so. The emo wheel soon. Buggy Shield, preferably bug someone to see how many gadgets they can fit into his arm. Flamethrower arm, gimme. What is he, like, go-go gadget? Fuck you, go-go gadget flamethrower arm? Could you do a recap of what the dev stream was about? Yeah, Richard, man. Honestly, I think I'll post these. I will try and post these because like it feels like there's quite a bit here. But I mean, in all honesty, if you're not super into Chris Judge and his portrayal of Black Panther, or if you're not into the lore and the story and what they're providing with that kind of information, this stream probably wasn't for you. You know, there was no new gameplay, you know, kind of there's no new gameplay elements really talked about. There's no new kind of tidbits of information about the gameplay. There's no new gameplay being shown. This was really kind of like a backdrop to like the story and the portrayal and kind of everything to expect out of that side of the expansion. Which, like I said, if you enjoy that part of the game, you enjoy the part of like the world building, the politics, the kind of understanding of where all these pieces fit together. This is a great stream to sit in. If you only care for like, I want to see Black Panther fuck up some fucking people in this game, this definitely wasn't for you. I probably will still post this because there's some good stuff in here, but it totally depends on like what your expectations are for the stream, you know? And that's not just for you, Richard, that's for everybody, I guess. We'll send it to you on Twitter too. Appreciate it, ZZ. I can't wait to see it, man. Because if it's as bad as you're saying, I'll definitely send that along, man. Imagine if the Avengers game was playing through the MCU. It'd be interesting. One of those timelines has been... That is a divergent timeline, isn't it? That is a divergent timeline. Would love to see some concept art for Claw and the other villains. Yeah, I mean, like, they've already shown quite a bit of concept art. I would have loved to see some more. You know what I mean? Like, concept art isn't really for me. Like, it's not something I get super excited for, but I would have loved to see, like, some more of it, you know? Because, like, it's not going to make me jump for joy, but, you know, if you've already shown quite a bit, what's a few more pieces? You know what I mean? So... All right, guys, with that being said, obviously, I'm going to wrap it up here. I got some shit I got to take care of. I stayed almost an hour longer than I should have, so I got to fly out of here as quick as I can. With that being said, obviously, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Chat was a little wild in earlier. Once again, guys, just be respectful to each other. Be nice to each other. We're all here because we somewhat care for the game, whether you super care for it or you're kind of just, like, here passing by, like... Just be nice to people. That's all I ask. You know, everyone to a degree is a little bit frustrated with the game. Whether you want more details for Wakanda or whether you want more details for 1.9. Just remember that, you know, if you're in here, there's still another person on the other side of the screen, and just treat people with respect. All right. And that's really all I got. So Enjoy Cyber Sleuth. Thank you. Enjoy Digimon. Love you. Love you too, Adrian. I will be posting. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. I will be posting whether Stardust and I will be doing a recap this weekend. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. A Hooya? You want? What do you want? Hooya? Like, is that what you want? Like, I don't know what you want. The champion. My goodness. So I'm 50-50 on a recap, but if we don't do a recap, I will come on probably Sunday and just sit here and just play some games with you guys, all right? And we'll play some Avengers. So either you guys are gonna get a recap on Sunday, or you guys are gonna get me playing Avengers, all right? So you'll get one or the other. What the fuck is this anymore? I'm way past my scheduled leaving time, so it just gets rowdy and crazy in here. I will see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your days. Days sounds like everyone's dying or something. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, guys. I will see you guys later on. Take it easy. Take care. And I will see you guys Sunday, whether that's a recap or a gameplay stream. All right. I'll see you guys later. Enjoy.